Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Meenal Dhal from Department of Anthropology, University of Delhi. Today we will start the module Human Genome Project from the paper Human Population Genetics. The learning objectives of this module are the events that lead to the conception of the idea of sequencing the human genome, first Human Genome Project, and silent features of the Human Genome Diversity Project, HapMap, Genographic and Thousand Genomes Project. Now to start with this Human Genome Project, the inception of the idea, the double helical structure of DNA molecule was proposed in 1953 by Watson and Crick, and with that molecular biology provide the physical basis for the inheritance of genetic information from one generation to the next. Now by this time, DNA was known by self-replicating machinery. The knowledge of the double helical structure helped understand the mechanics with if the replication is occur or not, and each strand of the DNA molecule is capable of resynthesizing a complementary strand, and the resulting strand intertwine with the help of hydrogen bonds to produce two daughter DNA molecules. In addition, genomic DNA in a cell was known to be a finite length. The nuclear DNA encoded for all the molecular information required to build a cell or the whole organism. Deciphering the sequence of the genomic DNA of human was perceived to help generate the coded information of the structure and metabolism at the cellular and organism level. Now these three factors sowed the seeds of the idea behind the first ever Human Genome Project, which was aimed at finding the sequence and composition of the deoxyribonucleotides of the DNA molecules that comprise the entire human genome. Now the technological prowess required for genome sequencing brought together public and private partnership involving the best minds in the molecular biology. Now before delving into genome projects, let's go through the evolution of genome mapping or the tissues. Role of bioinformatics in genome projects. The branch of biology dealing with acquiring, storing, managing, displaying and analyzing massive amount of biological data is called as bioinformatics. Biological data is available as nucleic acid and amino acid sequence data. The huge amount of nucleic acid data produced as a result of genome projects in general and human DNA sequence data produced by human genome projects invited bioinformaticians to play emphatic role in the projects. Bioinformatic tools first came into use after generation of sequences by sequencer. The DNA sequences were assembled after identification of overlapping areas in a series of sequences. The computer programs used are called sequence assembly software. In addition, the sequence data is viewed as essential to researchers studying genetic disease in human. Thus, the annotation of gene sequences to establish their function and development of preventive, diagnostic and therapeutic strategies for disease were important responsibilities of bioinformatics post-genome sequencing. After establishing gene functions, appropriate programs are used for comparing gene structure and functions in different organisms, examine genetic variation within and between species to explore phylogenetic relationship. All these diverse roles have made bioinformatics an ever-expanding field with new software being developed almost every day. To start with gene sequencing, the first topic to be discussed is genomic mapping. The chromosome comprising a single DNA molecule is the starting unit for genome mapping. Individual chromosomes are treated with certain dyes to get distinct chromosome banding patterns. These patterns are used to generate cytological map for each chromosome. These maps are used to locate structural modifications in chromosomes. Isolated single-stranded DNA fragments are located on chromosomes by labeling the fragments with fluorescent probes and hybridizing to chromosome. The fragment hybridized to its complementary sequence on the chromosome. This method is called fluorescence in situ hybridization, or abbreviated as FISH. The another concept is genetic mapping. A genetic map is a representation between the distance between two DNA elements obtained using the recombination frequency between the two. The construction of the first genetic map for Drosophila by Alfred Sturtevant was in fact the conception of the idea of mapping genomes. Genetic maps can be constructed for each chromosome of an organism. Demerits of this method are that the gene to be mapped should be coding for an observable phenotype, and a number of crosses are required to generate enough data for mapping. The third concept in genome sequencing is physical mapping. The physical map of a genome is a map of genetic markers made by analyzing a genome sequence directly rather than obtaining recombination frequencies first. Restriction mapping, radiation hybrid maps, and STS maps are some examples of physical maps. The physical maps have been used in producing a definite order of cloned fragments of DNA, but not useful for finding the DNA sequence. Finding the DNA sequence is the final step of the genome sequencing project. So when we see the overview of the first human genome project, abbreviated as HGP, pioneered human genome sequencing on large scale by aiming to completely sequence the human genome and make the data generated freely available to the researchers. It was a coordinated effort by the National Institute of Health, that is NIH, and Department of Energy in the USA to decode the sequence of the complete human genome. The main goals of the project were: the first one is to generate comprehensive maps of the location of genes in the human genome and in those of other well-studied model organisms in biology like bacteria, yeast, nematode, fruit fly or mouse. Second one is to determine the nucleotide composition and sequence of the DNA of the genome of model organisms mentioned above, and to identify and annotate functions of the 20,000 human genes estimated to be present in the human genome using the genetic information from the organisms. The genomic information is in the form of nitrogenous bases named A or adenine, T for thymine, G for guanine, and C for cytosine. Third one is to store the information generated in databases freely available for public viewing and research. Or the fourth goal is to improve the tools for sequencing data analysis through computational methods. The project targeted in identification of all the genes, creation of database for cataloging the sequence of the individual chromosome, development of faster, higher throughput sequencing methodologies, and investigate the ethical, legal, and social complications that crop in genome sequencing efforts. The first draft of the human genome sequence was published in 2001 by the International Human Genome Sequencing Consortium, which covered 90% of the complete sequence. The complete sequence for Drosophila, that is fruit fly, was also available. The final sequence was announced in April 2003. The feat of the complete sequencing of human genome was achieved in record time due to the development of whole genome shotgun sequencing technique by a biotechnology company, Celera Genomics. In this technique, the entire genome is fragmented randomly, following which each fragment is amplified by cloning in a vector, and each vector insert is then sequenced separately using an automated sequencing machine. The sequences are then examined for overlapping and assembled to get the complete genome. The achievement of the projects were: the first one is shotgun sequencing technique developed was subsequently adopted for sequencing genomes of organisms to delineate their phylogenetic relationship with human. The Human Genome Project provided information on the structure, organization, and function of the set of human genome comprising about 20,500 genes. And thirdly, the comparative genome sequencing complemented effort to annotate gene function, which were already being done through studies on gene knockout animal models, and made the process faster and economical. The larger regions of DNA in eukaryotic genomes containing heterochromatic DNA could not be sequenced as they were rich in repeat sequence and had fewer genes. So, although the goal of the project was to obtain a complete sequence for each chromosome, a full sequence has not been obtained till date. Human Genome Diversity Project, it started in 1991 under the leadership of Dr. Luigi Luca Cavalli-Sforza, a genetist at the Morrison Institute of Stanford University. Samples were collected and have been maintained asympho-blastoid cells line at the Foundation Jean Dostin CEPH in Paris, created for 1064 individuals belonging to 52 population. The ethno-historical, linguistic, and archaeological data was also collected to support investigation on these samples. Studies on these samples were conducted to examine the pattern of genetic diversity in these populations and delineating demographic and cultural factors that shaped evolutionary forces in fashioning these patterns. Human Genome Diversity Project had many important firsts based on perspectives of on Human Genome Diversity Project, its inception and progress till 2005 by Cavalli-Sforza. The first one is the importance of LBL cell lines for their accuracy and renewability for obtaining DNA. Second is apprehensions on biopiracy, that is use of the DNA of indigenous people for commercial purpose, were addressed by the decision to pay careful attention to informed consent and other ethical issues. And third is the inclusion of samples from diverse ethnic groups. The studies on HGDP populations are: Rosenberg et al. In 2002 typed each sample of the project for 377 autosomal microsatellite loci. Their findings reinforced the importance of geographic isolation in population divergence and established the small magnitude of genetic differences between population. The same group also asserted the evaluation of the events of early divergence in human evolution using microsatellite markers. The utility of Human Genome Diversity Project in biomedical research can be for estimating estimating the incidence of recessive disease and providing control samples for disease association studies. Anthropologists can use human genome diversity project data and samples to decipher the influence on climatic, ecological factors, and cultural practices at the population level, study population structure, and reconstruct the population history. Cavlis-Froza also emphasized on the importance of both historical and geographical information in reconstruction of human evolutionary history. To summarize, the Human Genome Diversity Project, in contrast to Human Genome Project, accommodated that human population are genetically divergent and cannot be represented by one single genome. Although the project was planned for collecting samples about 25 individuals, each from around 500 population, the target could not be achieved. The funds required could not be raised, and the project attracted severe criticism from indigenous population to be recruited. Some important areas of the world like Australia, India, and North America were not represented. The HapMap project started in 2002. The HapMap project is an effort by multiple countries to identify and record genetic variation in humans for use in medical genetic, population genetic, and evolutionary genetic research. The International HapMap Consortium developed a map of these genetic variation patterns across the genome by genotyping 1 million or more sequence variants, their allele frequencies, and the association between them. 269 samples were screened from population with African, Asian, and European ancestries. The freely accessible information available in paper by the International HapMap Consortium is helpful to understand genetic predisposition to disease and response to drug and other environmental factors. The project occurred in three phases. The first phase started at 2005. It was aimed at genotyping at least one common SNP, that is minor allele frequency less than or equal to 0.05 per kb in all samples. Data was published on 1 million SNPs. The phase 1 was jointly carried out in the 9 genomic centers who worked with 6 different technologies. In phase 2, which started at on 2007, the number of SNPs typed per sample was 3.1 million, and SNPs with a minor allele frequency less than 0.05 were also included. A single genotype methodology was adopted. The accuracy of genotyping was estimated at greater than or equal to 0.05. The third phase, which is an ongoing phase where additional samples were included from diverse set of population, about 1.3 to 1.5 million SNPs were genotyped using two standardized methods. A data set comprising results from SNP genotyping and deep sequencing of selected genomic regions in a subset of sample is available for use by researchers everywhere. The results were used to find patterns of recombination across the genome in different human populations. The result showed an extremely non-uniform distribution of recombination across the genome. Knowledge of recombination helped decipher the linkage disequilibrium pattern across the human genome, and the discontinuity was observed in block-like structures called haplotype blocks. These blocks contain a number of SNPs that are associated with one another. The regions of the genome with high occurrence of recombination events are called recombinant hotspots. After the discovery of tag SNPs, they could be used as proxy for another SNPs or tag adjacent haplotypes in linkage disequilibrium with these SNPs. The information was subsequently used in other studies to test hypotheses on population histories. Following the third phase of the project, imputation efforts were made which helped obtain information on loci that have not been typed. Kavlis-Froza comments that data from Human Genome Diversity Project will be complementary to HapMap datasets, as the former will be providing the historical information supporting the samples, including in the later for drawing inferences while making evolutionary comparisons. Here you can see the table where it shows population samples for the HapMap project. There are three phases. In phase 1 and 2, various standard abbreviations were used like YRI, CEU, CHB, and JPT for different origins, and different sample size and compositions were used. Similarly, for phase 3, which is the ongoing project, is also shown in the table. In 2005, the Geographic project came. The project's sole aim was to elucidate the migration pattern of modern human after their origin from and dispersal out of Africa. This has been done by studying genetic patterns in mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosomal DNA diversity. The project turned out to be gigantic, considering the amount of participation it could garner by the joint initiative of the National Geographic, IBM, and the Waite Family Foundation, and 500,000 participants who contributed samples and finance. The project has also got regional centers around the world at 11 locations. In India, the principal investigator of the project team is Dr. Pichappan, whose work aims to understand the pattern of gene flow in Northeast Indian population and the effect of interbreeding and marriage within the specific group or custom on the population structure. The Thousand Genomes Consortium. The project was aimed at discovering and genotyping different DNA polymorphisms in population of different ancestries. The important goal of the Thousand Genome Project were as follows. The first is to characterize more than 95% variants of allele frequency greater than or equal to 1% by using high throughput sequence technologies. The second is to catalog both high and low frequency alleles in coding region. The Thousand Genome Project is the first project to have undertaken sequencing of 95% of the complete human genome of a large number of individuals, that is 2500 individuals of different ancestries, by achieving a 4x genomic coverage. The samples will be collected from 5 regions from all over the world, including 5 populations with European, East Asian, South Asian, West African, and American ancestry. A 4x coverage allows detection of most variants having frequency up to 1%. The data generated can be used for identifying the underlying risk of disease, to investigate process shaping human genetic variation, to detect de novo mutations of individual in a pedigree, effects of selection on local variation, population differentiation and positive selection, and effect of recombination on sequence variation. The genotyping strategies used were assessed using samples collected in the HapMap project, and the evaluation was carried out in 3 projects. The first one is TRIO project, high coverage whole genome shotgun sequencing in 2 trios, one Yoruba from Ibadan, Nigeria, and one of European ancestry, with each offspring sequenced using 3 sequencing platform in multiple centers. Second project is the low coverage project, where the low coverage whole genome shotgun sequencing of 59 individuals from YRI, 60 unrelated individuals from CEU, and 30 unrelated Han Chinese in Beijing, CHB, and 30 Japanese individuals in Tokyo. The third project is Exon project, targeted sequencing of 8140 exons, that is the protein coding part of a gene, from 906 randomly selected genes in 697 individuals from 7 populations. The phase 1 data has been used to compare various genomic features, effects of selection, allele frequency, distribution and degree of differentiation between population. The data generated from the project has been used for exome, that is all exons present in the genome analysis of individual with genetic disorders and cancer. Certain features are common to both HapMap and Thousand Genome projects. They are: the first is high throughput genotyping platform. Second is development of computational pipelines. Third is defining linkage disequilibrium pattern across the genome and the ability to discover tag SNPs. Fourth one is unbiased estimation of allele frequency. Fifth is estimation of ancestry. Then identification of population of substructure. And lastly, the evaluation of genomic structure, rates of recombination and mutation rates. The essence of the motivation behind efforts on sequencing human genome is encompassed by the statement given by Dr. Collins on the publication of a part of genome in 2001. He said that it's a history book, a narrative of the journey of our species through time. It's a shop manual with an incredibly detailed blueprint of building every human cell, and it's a transformative textbook of medicine with insights that will give healthcare providers immense new powers to treat, prevent, and cure disease. Ethical, legal, and social issues. The realization of possible misuse of genetic information is as old as the generation of human genetic information, and hence the related issues are central to all the genome projects. It is believed that genetic information on a certain group of individuals can be used in ways that can create a bias against them. Additionally, there are concerns on who should be allowed to access this information. Hence, the brains behind the Human Genome Project explored the ethical, legal, and social implications of generation of human genetic information. Ethical issues arise from concern related to what action are considered right in the successful functioning of an organization, which can be a group of individual or an entire community. The legal issues concern protection of laws that govern ethical concerns. Social issues encompass concerns regarding effect on individual and entire communities. The main issue concerns privacy of genetic information, genetic testing, and psychological issues. The National Human Genome Resource Institute heads the Ethical, Legal, and Social Issue Research Program. It states 4 categories of ELSI, that is Ethical, Legal, and Social Issues Research Program, depending on the nature of issue encountered. The first one is psychosocial and ethical issues in genomic research. Second is psychosocial and ethical issues in genomic medicine. Third one is legal and public policy issues. And fourth one is broader societal issues. The ELSI program ensures privacy of genetic information of an individual and restricts misuse of genetic data, like in genetic enhancement to have offspring with desirable traits. The effects of genetic testing on individual families and communities as a whole are also monitored to prevent biasing against them during provision of medical services. The program also checks inclusion of informed consent of participants in genetic research. It is prerogative of a researcher to educate the participants about elementary genetics and its effects on health. As human genome projects are progressing to accumulate more genomic resources, the ELS issues are challenging as ever. In Indian context, the research on ELS issues is all the more complex with the large number of communities demarcated by social and cultural barriers. With the DNA bill drafted in the monsoon session of Indian Parliament in 2015, the issues will be now talked about outside the restricted group of genetic researchers. The different genome sequencing projects have been summarized in the table in this slide. Here, the Human Genome Project's aim, sample size, and population. You can easily see the major four projects which we discussed in a summarized form. The evolutionary anthropologist Mark Stoneking wrote about various outcomes of genome projects that will be very useful by the molecular anthropologist. The first one is mitochondrial DNA sequence helped find the recent origin of the human mitochondrial DNA ancestor and subsequently use the information for analysis of human mitochondrial DNA variation and evolution. The second one is human genome projects will permit molecular anthropological studies to study evolutionarily important regions of the genome. The third point is knowledge of polymorphism of disease genes will be facilitated by the Human Genome Project. The fourth one is development of new technology will help link the genetic variation with morphological variation. And lastly, the comparative gene sequencing of non-human primate to identify genes involved in the morphological differences between human and non-human primates. Now, to summarize this module, the Human Genome Project was one of the greatest accomplishments with far-reaching effects in endeavor for understanding the human biology. The project was successfully completed in April 2003. The project aimed at mapping of the human genome and annotating the function of individual genes function. The project revealed that there are 20,500 human genes along with their location. The technology developed in the project has been used to sequence other organisms' genomes also. The underrepresentation of human diversity in Human Genome Project led to the Human Genome Diversity Project, which recruited 52 populations from all over the world and now a part of HGDP CEPH panel. HGDP data and samples have been used to delineate the influence of climatic, ecological factor and cultural practices at the population level for studying population structure and to reconstruct the population history. The International HapMap Consortium carried out SNP genotyping and deep sequencing of selected genomic regions in a subset of samples to create tag SNPs in haplotype blocks across the human genome. The geographic project aimed at elucidating migratory history of modern humans after their origin from and dispersal out of Africa by studying genetic patterns in mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosomal DNA diversity. Now, the 1000 Genome Project undertook for the first time the sequencing of 95% of the complete human genome sample collected from the population with European, East Asian, South Asian, West African and American ancestries. The samples collected, data generated and technique developed in the Genome Project continue to be used by researchers in anthropology to study the genetic basis of the population structure. Thank you.